Hello users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All. And this is certainly interesting. So this has been an ongoing thing. The police assassination of Michael Reinoehl. I just have to stipulate, I don't agree with Michael Reinoehl using deadly force on someone. I'm very skeptical of his arguments for his self-defense claims. But at the same time, we live in a society, and this society has a constitution that grants people a right to face a trial. And so when cops assassinated him, they violated his constitutional rights. So that is what I am interested in here. I am a channel that focuses on police brutality. I am a channel that is very anti-authoritarian, and I am a channel that is very skeptical of the government. And I know a lot of conservatives, at least during the Obama years, claimed to be anti-government, against government tyranny. I know there are lots of people stockpiling machine guns because Obama is going to take our guns away. Going to have to fight back. You know, like this whole thing where it's all just a LARP, a live action role play. They don't actually believe any of that stuff, because as soon as someone who's racist is in power, all of a sudden, oh, government's great. Police assassinating someone that I disagree with, that's great. I love it. Because these people have no backbone. They have no actual beliefs. And they just go where the wind is telling them. So, now, with that stipulation out of the way, we've got an article from Vice. We tried to obtain footage of Michael Reinoehl's killing. Police say it doesn't exist. Agencies involved in the police killing of Portland shooter have actively fought against body and dash cameras. Isn't that interesting? That the same departments that have been so against documenting exculpatory evidence, because that's what body cameras are for. They're for the police. That's what if we lived in a society that made any sense, right? It is innocent until proven guilty, right? However, that applies more to the citizen than it does to the police officer. The police officer is paid by the state to apprehend suspects. Now, those suspects are civilians with constitutional rights. And if we buy into innocent until proven guilty, right, and a cop violates those rights, the cop is, at that point, guilty until proven innocent, because they have violated someone else's right. So, what body cameras are there for is to be exculpatory evidence for police officers. Okay, let's see. Why did you shoot and kill this person, violating their constitutional right to a trial? Oh, they had a gun pointed at you and said they're going to kill you and your family? Okay, that's fine. At that point, shooting in self-defense is justified. But it's interesting that all of these police departments had no dash cams, no body cams. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they want to have exculpatory evidence of Antifa terrorists shooting at cops? That would have been great optics, right? It's almost like that doesn't happen. It's almost like that didn't happen. It's almost like they might have footage, but it doesn't show what they want it to show, so they deleted it, or they're trying to hide it. So I'm going to read this article now. The 4 law enforcement agencies involved in the killing of Michael Reinoehl, the man who appeared to admit to shooting and killing a right-wing protester at a pro-Trump rally in Portland earlier this month, say they do not have any video footage of the incident. Really convenient. The apparent lack of footage is critical, considering that the narrative of what happened during the attempted arrest of Reinoehl in the town of Lacey, Washington is so confusing. An eyewitness interviewed by Vice News says he did not see Reinoehl pull a weapon. U.S. Marshals, who led a fugitive task force arresting Reinoehl, initially said he drew his weapon on officers and was subsequently shot. Again, if they had footage of Antifa terrorists shooting at cops, that would have come out literally not the day of, but the minute of this shooting. That would have hit the presses instantly, because that would have been good optics for them. It's interesting that didn't happen. The marshals told Vice News that per policy we can't comment on this as it is an ongoing investigation. The Thurston County Sheriff's Office, TCOS, which was not involved in the shooting but is investigating the Reinoehl killing, clarified that he had a handgun at the time of his death. But the TCOS wasn't sure yet whether he drew or fired it. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, he had a gun, so therefore he's automatically an Antifa terrorist criminal. But is having a gun against the law? I thought we had a Second Amendment. Again, the same people that are pro-2A when Obama's in office, all of a sudden, anti-2A when Trump is in office. Why is that? Why is that? Because they're afraid of people defending themselves. President Trump has described Reinoehl's killing as retribution. As far as our team is aware at this point, we have no video at all, said Lieutenant Ray Brady of the TCOS, adding that all agencies and police forces involved in Reinoehl's death confirmed that no dash cam, body camera, drone, ring, or helicopter footage exists of the fatal encounter. Isn't that interesting? We live in an age where everyone has their cell phones, where there's cameras on every street corner, right? But all of a sudden, when push comes to shove and when you should have that footage ready, right? Because again, this footage is exculpatory evidence for them. Oh, he had a gun, he shot at us, it's justified. And you know what? Honestly, I would kind of agree with him, right? Let's just for the sake of argument, playing devil's advocate here, right? But why don't they have that footage, right? Isn't that really interesting? To be honest, though, I wouldn't agree with them. Like, just to correct the record, if you have like 15 officers versus one person, you should be able to apprehend them. Like, if that guy's got a fucking handgun, like if they've got like a grenade launcher, right? You know, maybe then. But if that guy's got a handgun, and you're telling me armed federal agents aren't capable of taking them down without killing them, I'm sorry, I don't buy that. Vice News filed Freedom of Information requests for body camera footage and or audio of the incident with the U.S. Marshals, the Lakewood Police Department, and the Washington Department of Corrections, and the Pierce County Sheriff's Office, which all had officers on the scene at the time of the killing. The Lakewood Police Department has not responded to the request yet. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office rejected the request, citing an ongoing investigation. And the Washington Department of Corrections and U.S. Marshals have not yet acknowledged the request. Normally, FOI requests are at least acknowledged within a day or two. Vice News filed these requests 10 days ago. As of 2016, nearly half of all the police departments nationally had body cameras, and roughly 70% of departments have in-car dash cameras. But it's possible, or perhaps even likely, that the law enforcement agencies involved in Reinoehl's death have no video of the actual incident. This is, in part, because some of the agencies involved have actively pushed against having always-on cameras. Lakewood Police and Pierce County Sheriff's officers do not have or wear body cameras. Pierce County Sheriff's Department vehicles do not have dash cameras. Lakewood Police pledged to install patrol cars with cameras in July. Just, July was a couple months ago. Just for reference, just in case, the timeline. I know Corona, we're all forgetting what year it is and what month it is. I get it, but July was in the past, just so we're straight. After backlash from the community about comments made by Police Chief Mike Zero about the effectiveness of body-worn cameras. It is currently unknown whether the police car used in this case was outfitted with a camera. Interesting. Police have been known to lie about whether camera or audio footage exists of high-profile police killings. For example, it was recently revealed that at least one of the police officers involved in the killing of Breonna Taylor was wearing a body camera at the time, despite claims to the contrary from the Louisville police. Tuesday, reporters revealed that officials in Rochester, New York, spent months attempting to suppress video footage of the killing of Daniel Prude. So again, you would think, oh, we have footage of Antifa terrorists trying to shoot officers. Wouldn't that make great headlines? It really makes you think, that that's not the story that we're getting? It really does make you think. Unless, of course, you're a drone. Antifa, terrorist, bad. Second Amendment, Fifth Amendment, bad. Those are the Trump supporters. When my guy has a gun, it's okay. They can do whatever they want with Kyle Rittenhouse. When your guy which, by the way, I don't claim this guy, but they'll say, if your guy has a gun, all of a sudden, the worst thing in the world would be to allow this person to live even one more second. Violate the Constitution when it's in their favor, not violate the Constitution when they're the ones that would be the victims. Isn't that interesting? Really makes you think. Reminder, never trust a pig, because they are always out to get you. All right? The fact that we don't have, like, the fact that, I don't know. I think I've said everything I need to say. But, again, if you are not skeptical of this case, you are not anti-authoritarian. You are not against tyranny. You're just a clown. Because this is one of the clearest cases of police brutality that's just open and for political means and like is a political act. You have Donald Trump tweeting as this is happening, "They need to go get him. They need to go get him." Saying on TV a couple days later that it's retribution and it is what it is. It has to be this way. What? Huh. Meanwhile, Kyle Rittenhouse, you know, just chilling. He missed this day in court. That's all right. He can get a month extension. He's just chilling, right? Get $1 million in GoFundMe. That's fine, right? Dylan Roof, let's go get some Burger King. I know you just shot up a whole church. Let's go get some Burger King. That's fine. But Michael Reinoehl, all constitutional rights down the toilet. Why? Antifa terrorist. Oh no! So ridiculous.